Our turret has been destroyed. You have slain.
What up, humans? Kurumi here, and welcome to the Mobile Legends Bootcamp. Bootcamps are made when there is a request from the higher-ups or the team just wants to do so. In this video, we are going to talk about the marksman mage hero, Kimmy. Kimmy has a good set of area of effect, dash, and burst kills. Our Splat Queen, Kimmy, is a marksman mage hero. I consider Kimmy as a mobile marksman since her passive lets her attack while running around. Not only that, you can use her as either a physical or magic damager depending on the meta. Now, let me share some tips and tricks on how to use Kimmy based on our experience. We will also teach you some combos and techniques on the latter part of this bootcamp. But before that, let me explain her skills one by one for further understanding. Kimmy's passive Chemist's instinct lets Kimmy deal basic attack even while moving around. Kimmy is the first ever hero to have the dual joystick functionality. You can aim your basic attacks with the attack joystick button towards the direction you want your basic attacks to hit. She regenerates energy every time she hits enemies with her spray gun. Take note that she only benefits a percentage from physical lifesteal effects. Her basic attack has its damage reduced, but it's already at maximum attack speed even at level 1, so this skill also converts all the attack speed bonus she gains to movement speed instead. Kimmy's first skill, Energy Transformation, lets Kimmy buff her basic attacks with chemicals. Clicking on this skill will activate its effects. While this skill is active, Kimmy's basic attacks will be transformed into chemical balls. Yes, Kimmy has chemical balls. Each chemical ball's launched cost energy. If an enemy is hit, that target receives magic damage and the chemical ball explodes at the same time, which will also deal magic damage to enemies nearby the explosion. When the chemical ball doesn't hit an enemy, it will explode on its maximum range. The damage of this skill is derived from a percentage from her physical attack and magic power combined. This skill only benefits a percentage from spell vamp effects. Using this skill again deactivates this skill. Kimmy's second skill, Chemical Refinement, lets Kimmy spray the ground with chemicals. Upon using this skill, Kimmy sprays the ground with chemicals and the spray gun pushes her backwards because of the recoil. The spray on the ground becomes a contaminated area for a short period. Enemies who steps on the area receives continuous magic damage and is slowed down. The damage of this skill is derived from a percentage from her physical attack and magic power combined. Using this skill also regenerates energy for Kimmy. Kimmy's ultimate skill, Maximum Charge, lets Kimmy shoot an attack filled with chemicals. You can hold her ultimate skill to charge a chemical attack to make its maximum range longer and its damage higher. Releasing the button of her ultimate skill will launch the chemical attack towards the specified direction. The chemical attack stops its travel when it hits an enemy hero or reached its maximum distance and will deal magic damage to the target. The explosion will also deal magic damage to enemies nearby. The damage of this skill is derived from a percentage from her physical attack and magic power combined. This skill also regenerates energy to Kimmy when it hits a target. There are so many items that you can buy for Kimmy. You can focus on items that grants magic power, additional magic damage, magic lifesteal, and items that gives you slowing effects to enemies. You can actually consider the situational build if you want to save yourself from assassins who can easily burst you out. You can also consider the Astro Crit build if you decide to be a physical marksman instead. But let's talk about the Kurumi way further. As for starting item, you can consider buying Hunter Knife or build it until Raptor Machete. This item is a jungling item. This item grants physical attack and physical penetration. Its unique attribute grants additional damage to monsters. Another unique passive of this item is Breakout. Every 10 seconds, your next basic attack will be buffed with additional true damage. The amount of true damage increases as your level increases and slows down the enemy. Dealing basic attacks will reduce this unique passive's cooldown. Another unique passive of this item is Greed. This passive grants additional experience when jungling. You recover some health and mana every time you kill jungle monsters. Another unique passive of this skill is Gorge. This unique passive grants you physical attack every time you kill a jungle monster. This stacks up to 15 times. For your kicks, you can consider buying Arcane Boots. This item grants you additional movement speed and magic penetration. Magic penetration will let your magic damage ignore a portion of the enemy's magic defense. You can consider buying Ice Queen Wand. This item gives additional magic power, magical lifesteal, mana, and movement speed. Its unique passive lets you slow down an enemy when your skill hits them. The slowing effect lasts for a few seconds and stacks up to 2 times. You also might want to consider Glowing Wand. This item grants magic power, health points, and movement speed. Its unique passive lets the enemy target hit by your skill be burned per second, depending on the target's maximum health points. Another magic item to consider is Genius Wand. This item grants magic power and movement speed. Its unique attribute grants 15 magic penetration. Its unique passive reduces target's magic defense when you deal damage to them, which scales with your level. This effect lasts for 2 seconds and stacks up to 3 times. You might want to consider Blade of Despair. This item grants additional physical attack and movement speed. Its unique passive will give you additional physical attack when the target's health is below a certain percentage. The movement speed bonus can also help you chase enemies or escape death. Lastly, you can consider Immortality. This grants you physical defense and health points. Its unique passive lets you resurrect after a few seconds upon death. This resurrects you and give you 15% health points, and a shield that lasts for a few seconds. This item has a really long cooldown. The item build for Kimmy really depends on the enemy's lineup. So make sure to read each item's descriptions so you can adapt it in-game. One of the best spells to be used on Kimmy is Purify. This will help you to be immune to crowd control skills for a short period. This will let you escape from enemies if they try to hold you with crowd control effects. You can also consider Sprint. This can really help you run from danger or chase enemies. In my opinion, you can choose these emblem sets depending if you are either going for a mage or physical damage Kimmy. Please take note that the meta for Kimmy may vary depending on which time you watch this guide. If you are going for a mage Kimmy, then the best emblem set to be used is the Custom Mage Emblem set. Custom Mage Emblem could provide extra stats according to your needs as a burst mage. Set agility to its max level because it can give you additional movement speed. Higher movement speed means higher chance to chase enemies or escape death. Setting observation to max level will provide additional magic penetration on your skills. Higher magic penetration deals more magic damage to enemies. That means your skills will be more explosive. Get Mystery Shop to have a 10% discount on all your item purchases. This will let you build items as soon as possible because of the discount. For me, it's one of the best things to get since you can strengthen yourself with items faster. Now, if you are going for a physical damage Kimmy, then you can consider Custom Marksman Emblem set. Custom Marksman Emblem could provide extra stats according to your needs as a marksman. Set Bravery to its max level because it can give you extra physical damage. Higher physical damage means higher damage for your attacks. Setting Doom to max level will provide you additional critical damage. Higher critical damage means higher damage on your critical hits. Get Weakness Finder to have the chance to slow enemies. The effect will greatly reduce target's movement speed and attack speed. This effect has a short cooldown. For me, it's the best thing to get since this can help you chase enemies when they are slowed. Set first skill to max level first. Prioritizing this makes the damage of your chemical balls higher. That means, you can deal continuous itchy damage with this. You can also prioritize second skill since the higher this skill's level is, the higher energy is regenerated for more damage dealing from your first skill. Always upgrade your ultimate skill when available for upgrading. When playing Kimmy, you can either focus on building her with mage items, physical attack items, or both. Or maybe tank items if you are crazy enough to do so. This actually depends on the current meta you are watching this guide. So please also do some research if the current meta sides with a mage or physical Kimmy. Also, take note that all of Kimmy's skills gets a percentage from your total physical attack and magic power. So you may prioritize Mage Kimmy if you want to deal massive damage in team fights. And you may prioritize physical damage Kimmy if you want to deal decent damage in team fights but destroy turrets and objectives faster with those items. Kimmy's passive skill is what you need to be mobile while dealing damage to enemies. Unlike other heroes, Kimmy has a dual joystick gameplay. To deal a basic attack, you need to aim using the attack joystick, unlike other heroes that has their basic attacks follow the target upon release. So if you need to deal basic attacks, you need to swipe the right joystick towards your target's direction. It's difficult at first, but practice will eventually bring you to victory. This is a great feature since you can deal damage to enemies chasing you while running away from them. You can also use this to deal basic attack even if you can't see the enemies that are inside the bush, since your basic attacks is not a targeting attack. Also, you can abuse this feature to kill jungle monsters while running away from them to receive less damage. Take note that this skill grants you the maximum attack speed even at level 1. But along with this, your basic attack damage output is reduced. So her basic attack with maximum attack speed is best used for pushing turrets, easy peasy lemon squeezy. If you are going for the physical build, if ever it is back in the meta, Demon Hunter's Sword is the best item you can buy since each of your basic attack will deal the additional damage from this item. Having the maximum attack speed will let you abuse this item. Take note that physical lifesteal effects on Kimmy is reduced by this skill. And lastly, all attack speed gained by Kimmy from items, emblems, or buff from allies will be converted to movement speed. So when the physical damage Kimmy was still in the meta, we still buy attack speed items even if she has already maximum attack speed. This is to give her faster movement speed to make it difficult for enemies to chase her. Kimmy's first skill is what you need to deal itchy magic damage. When this skill is activated, your basic attack is buffed and is transformed into chemical balls. The chemical balls explode upon hitting an enemy or reaching its maximum range traveled. So to maximize this skill, make sure you have practiced well with your attack joystick to aim better. This is best used during team fights since the explosion deals damage also to enemies nearby. Unfortunately, this skill doesn't deal critical hits. So if you are building Kimmy as a critical hit marksman, it's best to use your basic attacks most of the time instead. But this skill is the best when you are building mage items for Kimmy, since it deals explosive damage depending on your item build. Also, additional basic attack effects like Demon Hunter Sword or Feather of Heaven won't work while this skill is active. Lastly, take note that when you have this skill activated, your basic attacks won't hit the turret. So turn this skill off if ever you are attempting to push a turret or inhibitor. Kimmy's second skill is what you need to either chase enemies or escape death. Using this skill will let Kimmy spray chemicals into the ground and push her back because of the recoil. This is best used when running away from enemies because the spray has slowing effects when enemies step on it. Using this skill also regenerates energy, so it's best to use when you are out of energy. Using this will give you enough energy to spam your first skill again in team fights. Also, this skill lets you pass through not so thick obstacles. Kimmy's ultimate skill is what you need to deal burst damage to enemies. With the ability to charge this skill, the maximum range and its damage is higher when charged for a longer time. Take note that when the bar has already reached maximum, that means its range and damage are at maximum as well. This is good especially when you are trying to kill dying enemies from afar, or use it to deal massive damage in team fights. You can also use this to steal jungle monsters, turtle, and even the lord. We just don't have a clip of it, but I know you are creative enough to think about it. Take note that while charging this skill, your vision also goes farther. This can help you aim towards your enemy. Lastly, it's also good to use this to harass your enemies in the lane. Using this will regenerate some energy for you when you hit an enemy hero. So use this also when you have depleted your energy. Here we are again with our experiments. We have our favorite lab rat, Rakuten, to demonstrate with us some heroes that can greatly counter or dominate Kimmy in game. First we have Lolita. Let's see if she can block our basic attack and first skill. As you can see, she just eats the magical balls for breakfast. Your ultimate skill won't penetrate through her shield as well. We can consider Lolita as the best counter against Kimmy's explosive skills. Next, we have Helkert. Let's see what will happen if we silence Kimmy while she releases her chemical balls from her first skill. As you can see, Kimmy's attack stopped. She didn't even continue dealing basic attacks without her first skill, so try avoiding to be silenced as much as possible. Next up we have Baxia. Baxia's passive skill reduces damage taken from enemies. Let's see how much damage Kimmy will deal. As you can see, Baxia doesn't feel anything from Kimmy's attacks. It's just like she is just scratching Baxia's back. Even with Kimmy's first skill, Baxia can even eat his dinner first before engaging into combat. But this is just happening in the early game since Kimmy has still no items. Next, we have Uranus. If you are against Uranus, your attacks might hurt Uranus, but this will also let him gain charges faster with his passive skill for regeneration. Uranus will be much happier catching your projectiles to increase his charges. Now let's try if Uranus uses Vengeance against Kimmy. As you can see, without effort by Uranus, Kimmy was still damaged decently. So you can also use Vengeance against Kimmy when she tries to barrage your teammates with her projectiles. Next, we have Valeric. Valeric's passive skill has a chance to deal damage to a line when attacked. Let's see what will happen when Kimmy shoots Valeric continuously. As you can see, lots of roots hit Kimmy. Valeric can even kill Kimmy by just standing and doing nothing. But of course this is because Kimmy has still no items to begin with. Next, we have Masha. Let's see what will happen if Masha uses her second skill against Kimmy. As you can see, even having her first skill activated, her attacks were stopped by this skill since this skill disarms Kimmy. Probably this is how your ex makes you silent. Next, we have Gato Kicha. His second skill can return the damage he receives to the enemy. Let's see if he can return Kimmy's damage with her basic attacks. As you can see, Kimmy is receiving damage from Gadot. Now, let's try if Kimmy has his basic attacks buffed with her first skill. As you can see, Gadot Kacha doesn't return the damage from Kimmy. So, in short, his second skill can only return physical damage dealt to him. Now, we know that Gadot's second skill can taunt an enemy to attack him. Let's see if it's gonna work against Kimmy. As you can see, Kimmy didn't even attack us, but she just stopped moving. So take note that Kimmy is the most stubborn creature who doesn't follow rules, maybe just like your ex. Now, let's test Kimmy's attack against the item called Blade Armor. Blade Armor returns damage to the target that deals physical damage basic attacks. So if Kimmy uses basic attacks, Blade Armor will definitely punish her. But if she uses her first skill, Blade Armor won't do anything but watch his owner be fried with Kimmy's balls. So it's best not to hurt someone in real life, because their revenge is gonna be sweeter. Last but not the least, we have Gord. Gord stands still while using his ultimate skill. So if he uses his ultimate skill against you, you can outsmart him since you can deal your attacks while moving. This makes it more difficult for Gord to aim at you, while you deal damage to him because he is just an easy target while standing still. Same goes to other heroes that just stand still while using their skills like Farsa and Odette. That's why we should be moving forward to succeed in life. In terms of her combo, we just follow a very simple combo for Kimmy. Since you are a marksman mage, all you need to do is keep shooting your balls towards the enemies. So first activate your first skill and keep shooting towards the enemies. Then, when you don't have enough energy for your first skill, use second skill to refill your energy again. Then activate first skill again and continue shooting your balls. Then, use your ultimate skill if there is still a need to do so. Your ultimate skill will regenerate some energy for you if you hit an enemy. So if it hits an enemy, activate your first skill again and keep them coming towards the enemy. Additional tip, remember that you are just a squishy marksman mage. So it's best to keep your maximum distance away from enemies while shooting your attacks. One wrong face check near the bush and for sure, you will be meeting your inevitable death. The tips I mentioned are just some of the ways you can use Kimmy. This video just guides you on how to use Kimmy, the Kurumi way. We would like to thank our Wakandian brother, Rakuten, for being our lab rat for this bootcamp. You can search for him in-game and tell him how much you appreciate him, willing to sacrifice his pride and honor for our sake. Watch his in-game streams and send some flowers and hearts. So, once again, this is Kurumi and that's how you use Kimmy. Thanks for watching. Do not forget to like and share this video. Also subscribe to our channel for more contents by clicking on the subscribe button below. For our skin giveaway events, check out the community tab for the giveaway post. We have our Ko-fi account just in case you want to donate us some coffee funds. Check our Ko-fi link on the description of this video. Please only trust Bootcamp videos from our official accounts. See you on the next Mobile Legends Bootcamp. Cheers.